Hello, everybody. My name is Master Chen.
My name is BGM.
I'm Xenify.
And I'm Richard Satchel.
And you are either watching or listening to Greynoise.
Indeed.
All right, everybody. Welcome to Greynoise, the podcast where we're here and you're there. This is episode 141. It is Friday night at 7:30, so we are here at the Sin Shop, the local Las Vegas hackerspace, 1075 American Pacific Drive, Suite C in Henderson, Nevada. Hey, Crux, we are still the Las Vegas Valley hackerspace. Come on down, check us out, hang out with us. Go to sinshop.org for information on the shop. Remember, this next weekend, we have the Sciences Everywhere?
Yeah.
Yes,
Sciences
next
Everywhere?
weekend. On Sunday from 1 to 4 p.m.
April 29th.
Sorry, 11 to 4 p.m.
What is this?
Science is everywhere. It will be here. It's
Okay.
I mean, it's everywhere,
But what is it?
What
sciencey things. Science, right? We do science.
You're really selling this,
We
Jen.
show off
Yeah,
the shop.
man.
We
Really
have
selling
Look,
this.
the word
Oh,
science is good
exhibits.
enough, right? Like that's a selling point.
So basically, it's kind of an open house for the Sin Shop for people to for mainly for kids to come in and be able to see what we do here. See a Tesla coil.
Okay, see,
Tesla coil, not the.
I got none
I
of
was
that
like,
from what
we have a
Jen said.
Tesla this
We
year.
haven't, we got Tesla this year. You didn't. It's right back there.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me finish the announcements. All right.
It's right next to Chen's hat.
We're gonna go hack the Tesla after the show. Actually.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm wearing sunglasses for my hat today. How's that?
There you go. Oh,
All right.
that's
These are my
not-
favorite pair, by the way. My only
Oh,
pair.
oh,
All
that's
right,
great.
really quick. So for more information on Sciences Everywhere, go to meetup.com/sinshop. And for more information on us, go to Greynoise, GREYNOI.SE. It is a Swedish domain. We don't talk shit about Sweden, so we can still use that domain.
Cool.
Yeah, that's the rules.
Is that the rules?
That's what BGM said. As long as we don't talk shit about Sweden, we can use that domain.
Pretty much, yeah.
We love
That
Sweden.
actually happened, and that's a real thing.
All right, so let's start off like we have been. How's everybody's week? Really?
No. So this week has just basically been watching a slow motion car crash for the most part.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I
Yeah.
got a lot of invested interests in
It's-
this week.
One of those.
We could talk about that.
Yeah.
We're talking about the bidding thing.
What bidding thing are you talking about?
That's true. I don't know. Maybe. I
Okay,
don't
all
know.
right. Well, really quick, I did forget. I did forget to say. I know I'm all over the place. 2600, the Hacker Quarterly is out. Remember, this is it's a quarterly magazine, so the spring issue is out right now. They actually used the same cover as last week or as last season, with this meme in the middle. I can hack chips.
All right.
So so far so good. This is actually the copy that I picked up from Barnes & Noble because the copy that I got in the mail was fucked up. They took half of the magazine twice and stapled it together. So I had two of the same article and it was all out of order. And
So you can memorize the articles.
yeah. So so I looked at it. I was like, well, I'm going to Barnes & Noble to fix this problem. It was an $8 fix. So
They hacked
They
your
got
magazine.
you. They got you. They got your wallet.
I know they got my wallet.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So guys, how was your week? Because his was
I saw A Quiet Place.
Oh, was
Oh,
it
yeah.
good?
Yeah.
It was really good. It was like super good.
Huh.
What did you like about it? How quiet it was?
I liked the movie.
Well, I mean, like it was quiet before the
there was
show, so I was wondering if this was like a preview, or like a trailer to the movie.
No, I mean, like it was really well done. It was really quiet. There is dialogue, but there's not a lot of it. A lot of signing, but what I really liked in the movie is the way that the kids acted. It was so believable, and
Oh,
it was they were amazing. I never once my disbelief never got suspended. I mean, it was always suspended the other way around.
Right. That one.
Um,
Yeah.
And the story was great. It left me wanting to see it again, so I can, because they never really hint to the backstory of the creatures in the movie. You just kind of get glimpses of it on newspaper clippings that are like sprayed around the walls and everything. So I kind of wanted to watch the movie again to pay better attention to the headlines in the newspaper clippings to see if I can try to figure out the backstory to what happened.
Yeah.
But really, it's kind of like an in medias res start that never goes back to the beginning. You're always just in the middle of the action. And it
It was
was
an interesting way to shoot a movie. Kind of
Yeah.
like that What was the movie called? Where it was like in first person.
Cloverfield?
No, Hardcore Harry.
Yeah, Hardcore Harry.
It was like basically a first-person shooter game.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I didn't watch the movie.
So, like, when
I kind of wasn't interested in it because of the way it was
when
shot.
I saw Quiet Place's trailers, I kind of associated with that movie because it's such a weird and different way to shoot and produce a movie.
Well, this one's not first person. It's not
first
footage.
person, but it's definitely different.
Classically filmed.
Wait, do we know the director of this?
It's John Krasinski.
I don't know names.
He played Jim in The Office.
Oh. No shit.
Yeah.
He still doesn't know because he doesn't watch his.
I've seen like 2 episodes of The Office. The only people I know is Steve Carell and the other.
He's the guy that jims the camera.
So you don't even know 2 people.
Wow, I really don't. Wow, okay.
You know what jimming the camera is, right?
No.
This guy, dude. That guy.
Oh, okay, yeah, he's in the memes.
Yeah, he's
in the memes.
He's the meme lord of The Office.
All right.
He directed it.
That's interesting.
But it was really suspenseful too. Like it's one of those kind of like always on the edge of your seat type movies, and it uses the silence perfectly. It uses it to draw you in, and it's never too quiet because it's always you've got the ambiance everywhere. You know, it's not a silent movie. They use sound to to a perfect degree.
But there's not as much talking.
No, there's very limited dialogue, but the audio is always there, and you're always. In fact, you're more. You notice more things about the ambience in the audio, which they worked really well. The sound studio that they got to do the sound direction, which I think is called E Squared, did a fantastic job. And one of the characters is deaf, and every time it goes to her, all the ambience shuts off. So you're experiencing the world as she experiences it.
Oh, okay.
It's really cool. Great. And I feel like in that particular world, you've seen the trailer, so you know the object is not to make any noise. Otherwise, these things come.
Or else it's like losing the silent game.
Get you. Yeah.
But, with death.
Right, well, yeah.
So, like, being a deaf character in that world would be a huge disadvantage because you have no idea how much sound you're making.
Oh, yeah.
And they play to that really well in the movie.
Oh. So now, when you say they use silence a lot, it's not like Drive, is it?
No.
Okay, good.
Drive was a good movie, though.
No, it wasn't.
No.
What?
No, it was not.
I wish Doxy was here.
Doxy probably would agree with us.
Ryan Gosling is such a wooden actor.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I was thinking about, not the one with Ryan Gosling, the other one. Baby Driver. Oh.
Baby Driver was
my bad.
Great.
I was thinking about Baby Driver.
There was nothing silent in that movie.
Yeah, my
All
bad.
of the action was cued to sound.
No, you're right. I hated Drive. Okay, yeah, I'm
Drive
with you guys.
was terrible.
I'm with you guys on that one.
Listen, we're going to stare at each other in an elevator for the next 10 minutes.
Ryan Gosling's such a wooden actor. He played the same character in Drive that he plays in La La Land.
But he was amazing in The Notebook. I've heard. It's my favorite movie.
I saw the
Notebook was pretty good.
I saw probably the exact opposite of that movie.
What, The Notebook?
No, of the movie you described.
It's just like 7 hours of loud noises.
Sort of.
Cool.
Ready Player One.
Oh.
Was that good?
Oh. You mean reference the movie?
Yes, that is exactly what it was. Yes, it was reference the movie, and kind of like what you were saying though. It's kind of like that movie's evil twin because part of me does want to go back to see if I can see more of the references, but I'm waiting for it to come out.
Was there anybody who just applauded whenever they saw something that they recognized?
I will say this: there was one thing that I was afraid that the Iron Giant was going to do, and he didn't do that. Thank God.
No.
Because if he would have said,
it's not really the Iron Giant. It's just
it's
an avatar.
Yeah. If he would have said, "I am Superman," then fuck it.
I think I should really watch this movie so I can, be part of this podcast.
You gotta watch.
You have to watch so much.
I know, dude, and I know
Avengers
is coming out next week. I haven't caught up on my Marvel movies.
You've never seen the Iron Giant?
Is that the cartoon one?
Yeah,
dude. We try to get you invested into pop culture. We really try. You just keep going back under that rock. You just keep hiding under there.
Look, I try to watch movies.
He buys different magazines. He buys two
of
the same
after
magazine.
work, after here, you just kind of exist.
No, here's how I watch movies. Okay, look. There's a whole bunch of stuff on my Netflix watch list, and on Hulu and HBO. Mm-hmm. I'm interested. But I play it at night, like late night, so I fall asleep to
everything.
Yeah, I fall asleep to everything. And not that it's boring. In fact, none of the stuff that I've selected so far is boring.
But I don't pay attention and fall asleep to it. We get it.
Yeah. And I study.
It's great. It's great when he makes a recommendation because you recommended that one horror movie where they go out to the woods, and it has like the guy from Black Mirror in it, the English one that came out recently, Ritual, I think it's called.
Oh yeah.
He recommended that one to me, and he's like, "Dude, it's really good." Well, at least it started really good. I fell asleep halfway through.
But that's really how I recommend movies.
You can't.
It was good though. No, because here's the crazy thing though, is when I do fall asleep halfway through it, I wake up maybe 20 minutes later and miss a whole plot point.
Right.
But then there's this weird deer-looking monster like breathing into the camera, and you're like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck just happened? Yeah, so it's actually kind of a scarier way to experience it.
Do not fall asleep if you watch Quiet Place. If you go to see it, it's really good. You have to see the whole thing.
All right.
You'll
And
miss
I
now
don't think
we're-
he falls asleep in theaters. Or do you?
No,
He
I
does.
don't. No,
You do.
No, I don't.
You do. You have. I've been there.
It's for those comfy seats at the Galaxy.
Those are sweet.
Those
Those are
fully
right.
reclining seats.
Oh yeah.
And the
So-
alcohol. Come on.
You
I
can't
don't
beat
know.
it.
I don't know if I mentioned it on the podcast earlier. Going back to Ready Player One, but I didn't like the book, and I'm not going to see the movie, even though it's Steven Spielberg. I feel like it ripped too much off of Snow Crash.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that last. Well,
Snow
you didn't
Crash.
mention it on the podcast, but you mentioned it afterwards.
Yeah, Snow Crash was
Yeah,
the
you
same
know,
exact
it's Neil
story
Stephenson,
released like 20 years earlier.
Yeah.
So Ready
I don't
Player
think-
One is the same story as Snow Crash, except Snow Crash doesn't have like a scavenger hunt in the middle. That's about it.
All right.
And it doesn't
I guess
have.
I can see it.
It's not overloaded with 80s references.
There are 80s references aplenty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I read the book.
Yeah.
All right, so before we go into some more security type of shit, really quick, if you are not chatting with us on Discord, please do so. The link to our Discord channels is on the website. Remember, GREYNOI.se. Hey, Sweden, how you doing?
Man, Sweden's awesome.
Yeah, Sweden's great, isn't it? It's
There's
a
a
great
whole
place.
TV show about living in Sweden now. I don't know if you guys saw it. It stars what's her name? Amy Poehler's brother, and he looks just like her.
Who's
it's
Amy
really
Poehler?
weird.
Oh, yeah.
Who's Amy Poehler?
I really just give me a face, dude. I'm not good with names.
This is why when we
Leslie
sat
Knope.
down and wanted to do a podcast, we didn't do anything based on TV or movies.
Oh, yeah. Fair enough.
Originally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck you guys.
He's one track minded.
All right.
Deadpool
So-
2 is coming out.
Oh, I've
Who's
seen Deadpool?
Deadpool?
No, I know that. Come on, man. That's Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, see?
There you go.
I love
Oh, yeah.
Deadpool. That was a
Yeah.
really good movie. I
Yeah.
can't wait to see the second one. See, I know good shit.
Mm.
Anyway, all right. So, the first, and I think currently the only topic, so we'll see how this goes.
No, I have a topic later.
Oh, you do? Okay, cool. All right. So,
You want to
beat.
start with yours, then?
Well, no, not
still-
necessarily.
No.
But
Okay. All right. We can talk on mine.
Take it away, fellas. All right.
Okay,
So,
sorry.
BGM, go ahead, and you brought this article up in chat. So,
I did.
yes,
It's there.
It's interesting.
Anyone in our Discord knows.
Go to Discord.
I don't know.
I mean, go to our website and click on the Discord link.
So, this company called
Not noise.
not Greynoise, Grey Shift. Sorry, the company is called Grey Shift, and they designed a piece of hardware called the Grey Key, and they're marketing it to law enforcement and any kind of police official or law enforcement. And what they claim it does is it can crack any 4 to 6 digit passcodes on any iOS device in 3 days or fewer.
I see on average 11 hours. What the fuck is that a true?
Yeah, average is 11 hours for a 6-digit passcode.
Holy shit.
Good thing my passcode.
So, originally for older iOS devices and newer ones, if you kind of, I don't know exactly how they do it, but they like grandfather in the software. They limited passcodes to, or they set the minimum to a 4-digit passcode or 4 symbol or alphanumeric. But then in the latest releases, in kind of like, because Apple's been butting heads with law enforcement a lot lately, and in kind of that sort of kerfuffle, iOS upped the minimum to 6 digits. But this thing can still crack 6 digits, and it apparently can bypass the protection that goes in where if you put in too many wrong passcodes, it increases the amount of time you have to wait before you put in another passcode.
Yeah, that was going to be my question.
Yeah.
Do you know how?
Yeah,
I don't know, but apparently this thing can bypass.
Oh,
that.
this is why I love why this person
here we go.
here.
Oh, we got-
Community Mike. I love
we
I
him.
took a look at this. So if you look at the device, there's 2 lightning ports on it. You plug in the one iPhone that you want to crack, and you plug in another iPhone, right? So on the iPhone, there's something called a secure element. That is what controls. It's a completely separate processor from the main processor, right? So what happens is that you're trying to brute force that. So what you're talking about is what's called the exponential back-off timer. So you put it in once, twice, 3 times, then the time keeps on increasing, right? And if you set your phone to erase after 10 mistries or wrong tries, right, then it just erases. It just basically pitches a decryption key.
Right, because the iOS is now encrypted by default.
Right. So my guess is you have the second phone, and because they can't crack the secure element, they're probably doing something. I don't know, I'm just guessing, where they're copying something, right, to the second iPhone that they disable all these back-off timers, right? It must be something with a secure element there. If you can somehow copy that, then you just brute force the shit out of it. Because what you're talking about is the minimum 6, it's really not a passcode, it's just 6 digits, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So you're just running through a gamut of 6 digits. It'll do 8, but then what's the time frame of brute forcing 8? You know, that's the other problem.
Well,
Is
10
it
times 10
going-
times
So
10
six,
times
six,
10.
six is the minimum, and so the time, the 11 hours that they're talking about here is a 6-digit passcode. Passcodes
right.
can also be alphanumeric. They
Right.
can also contain symbols.
And if they do that,
If
then
they do
they're
that, then
fucked.
that number goes up exponentially. And
Exactly.
there's someone posted a tweet here saying if you have a 10-digit passcode, random decimal, it would take on average 4,629 days to crack.
Yeah.
So
they
I mean,
would probably give up after
I got
that.
time.
so if you just
I'm not
do
doing
the bare
anything like
minimum-
watching movies.
Obviously.
Well, I mean,
just
Does
just
it-
going by the same magazine for
Does
more
it do it
times,
in
really.
numerical order, or is it? It's
I
gotta
would
be
assume so.
randomizing it, right?
Yeah.
Or-
I don't know. Well, if they're smart, they would probably try like 0, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, they
7,
would do
6,
all
5, 3, 2, 1.
sequential. They would
Right,
do all
yeah.
sequential. all
They would
the-
probably
yeah.
try the most
but-
common 6 digits that people would pick.
iPhone doesn't let you do sequential.
It's
Does it not?
Hold on.
Not too sequential, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, we have
We have
in
a-
the
we have a lot
audience
of
in the
audience
audience we have some
participation.
comments. They're saying that iPhone doesn't let you do sequential. I didn't know that.
I don't know.
I didn't know
I-
that. Yeah, you can't do
Oh, really?
you can't do
Oh.
repeating digits, but that's not sequential. That's just repeating digits.
Right.
Can you do sequential?
Like 1, 2, 3, 4,
I
5,
you can
don't
do
know.
sequential,
Yeah.
but
They
you can't do
will-
repeating digits.
Like
I
Spaceballs.
set up Apple devices for my employees, and it'll be like, "This is super
Oh.
obvious. Do you want to use it?" And
Oh, okay.
They'll
ho-
change it afterwards.
Yeah,
So
that's fine.
they said that you can use sequential, but it'll warn you that it's not very safe.
Maybe what you think of is if there's an MDM installed.
Maybe.
And the MDM policy says you can't do sequential.
Maybe, but also you can. iOS does allow you to use alphanumeric as well. So
Absolutely.
that's moot if you do alphanumeric, unless you're doing AA or ABC, you know, stuff like that.
Exactly.
But so if you have an iPhone iOS device, what they're recommending is obviously more than 6 digits and use an alphanumeric passcode with symbols whenever possible. But if you don't, this thing can crack it in 11 hours, and it does that weird kerfuffly thingy with the 2 lightning ports to bypass the timer.
Wait, so, but, okay, by increasing the passcode by by one character, you said it increases the time exponentially, right?
So I don't have the timing for 7 digits, but 8 digits is about 46 days on average.
Okay. And then, like, if we were to add a ninth, like, I don't know if it's possible, but if you were to add a ninth, then it would go up from there, like, right?
Yeah. Obviously, the more
Right.
entropy you add to the
course.
password, the longer it's going to take, and it is exponential.
Wasn't there something a little while ago, I think it was on NIST.org, where, like, some dude wrote this, I got to really look it up. Some dude wrote this paper about you need to have an 8-character password that has alphanumeric and symbols,
Yeah.
right? But it wasn't about the characters and symbols. It was about the true
length.
security is in the length of the
The length of
password.
it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Right?
I talked about this.
We talked about
when
that-
I back in September
Like
of
a-
last
yeah,
year,
a while ago.
or October. It was when I came back from the Sands Expo. Really, you can. If you can have a password that's just all lowercase, as long as you have and no symbols at all, if it's like 30-something characters,
Right.
it's still going to take a long time to brute force it.
yeah.
I mean, really, it's mostly the length. Complexity doesn't really matter if you have a short password.
Yeah, there was that whole XKCD thing about it.
Yeah, just-
correct horse
That's
battery
why-
staple.
Yeah, just something you
That's
remember.
why. That's
like-
why I always recommend when people want strong passwords, just pick a phrase from your favorite book, write the whole phrase in as your password.
Yeah, I don't remember when this was, but there was somebody, like, I was having this kind of password conversation with them, and they were getting on me about, like, no, it doesn't have to be that long. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, if you think about how combinations, of course, work, right? Like, the lockpick nights that we have here, sometimes I talk about cracking master combination locks, and, you know, the possibilities are 40 times 40 times 40, right? So it's the same thing with character distribution across, like, a password, right? If you're using lowercase and uppercase, so that's what, 26, 52, right? Plus 0 through 9, so that's 62. and then I'm not even going to count the special characters. But if you have 62 possibilities for the first character, then the second, then the third, fourth, that's 62 times, over and over again. So, full disclosure, one of my favorite passwords is all lowercase, nothing special, but something easily remembered. And it's like 50 characters long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was having this conversation with this person, and they were just not convinced that you don't need an 8-character, or you know what I mean? Like,
With the at symbols and the
yeah, I was kind of
uppercase,
getting,
lowercase.
and I don't get offended about much.
Yeah, but I mean, there still
But I was
needs
getting
to
pissed
be
off.
there still needs to be a small element of complexity in there. If you have a 108 character password, but it's just 108 of the letter A,
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
you're
no,
gonna-
but
it's
can
going
you-
to be cracked really quickly.
Yeah, but can you imagine me just typing a diatribe, and it's like, whoa, what the hell are you
Yeah.
typing? And it's like my password.
We have
Yeah, Master Chin, just, to show them, just create a hash key
Right.
out of their 8-digit whatever it is,
Yeah.
compared to your 30-digit phrase.
I mean, can you imagine building a rainbow tables on these two passwords, right?
Right. Well, yeah. Well, what all I'm saying is if you want to show them the difference, like how easy it would be, just show them the pure amount of data that is present in an encryption key generated off of an 8-character instead of 30.
There's algorithms out there to determine the complexity of your password, and it's all based on
Right. I will say,
current entropy and things like that.
right. The person who wrote that article for NIST, he's reneged on that. He's actually taken that back and said, "Yo, I fucked up, my bad."
Is that what he said? Is that his update?
That's verbatim. That's what he said. "Yo, society, I fucked up. I'm sorry."
It was on Twitter.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, it was on Twitter. No,
Twitter correction. Does he have a blue check mark?
300-53 or something like that.
yeah, it was like a second article saying, "Hey, my bad."
Well, it wasn't.
That was how it was titled.
He updated it. Yeah, he said that he made another addendum to that special publication saying, "Yep, that's wrong. Let's get rid of all these. We're actually making passwords worse, and then you're forcing people to change every 30 days.
Yeah.
So now what's worse is that they're
can't remember
picking
it.
something, or they're picking some predictable." July, June, August, September, right?
Yeah,
They're
like
rotating
password
through
one.
these.
That's
right.
That's
Password
actually
two.
that's actually one of the reasons why I think password history requirements are stupid.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
people are like, oh, you can't use one of your last 10 passwords. So what are they going to do? They're going to increment a number at the end of their
11.
password,
Right.
or they're going to increment it 9 times and then go back to whatever password they
Yeah.
had before.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's
I saw
stupid.
that all too
Yeah.
often.
I will give you guys I'll give you guys 3 guesses as to which institution around here uses a very strict 8-character limit. It
DMV.
can't be.
I hate
you,
upper
man.
limits.
Yeah, it can't be. Okay,
I know
so the funny thing
government
is,
websites
I
that are
hate
fucking
all right,
up.
upper limits.
for those who-
That's messed up.
because I'm a loud motherfucker. For those of you who didn't hear what Zenify said, it is the Nevada DMV.
Oh,
If you go to the Nevada DMV website,
Yeah.
when you log in with your username and password, the password cannot be less than 8, but it also can't be more than 8. It has to be 8 characters.
And it only allows for a specific set
Yeah.
of 3 special characters. It
Yeah,
won't let you use
yeah.
all of them, just the first 3. 1,
yeah,
2,
you
and
could
3.
either use
there a
the
technical-
So
the
Grey
bang
Key
the
can
S.
get all of these passwords and.
It's so
40 days.
stupid. You could build such an easy table from that.
Oh,
but
yeah.
is there a technical reason why they would do that?
Yeah,
I
they
was gonna
technically
say,
suck.
The mainframe's still stuck on 8.
Yeah, I mean,
The mainframe.
Why?
Mainframe is
they're
stuck on
probably
8.
they're
Oh.
probably
Mainframe.
using like an Access database from '93 or
Or
something.
is this shit written in COBOL?
Or it
Yeah,
might
probably.
be. It could be COBOL. It's main. Yeah, it's just
Probably.
stuck
You
on
think,
8.
you think the
just-
DMV gets any budget
But I
to
thought-
upgrade their systems?
No, but I
Or-
mean, I thought they'd update their system. Okay, so you know how they text you now when you're like in
Yeah,
line or whatever,
yeah.
and they don't have that annoying voice that says now serving A554 at counter number 29. Remember?
yeah,
They don't have that
They
anymore?
don't have that
actually
anymore.
that's actually an uncanny impersonation.
Pretty good.
Yeah,
No, they
I
don't have
thought
that voice
so.
anymore.
Really good.
Yeah, they do?
He's just not. Well,
So
they
last,
do.
He
well,
fell
the last
asleep.
time, the last time I went, they got my number and I just left and they text me when I'm.
Yeah, that's not-
when I'm-
that's
That's
how I
why
thought they
he
do it.
doesn't know that they still do it because he shows up right on time, and he gets in and gets out.
Yeah.
I think that's why you've never heard the voice.
Yeah,
of it.
he's right. I have special privileges, so I get there and I just get in, get out, and peace out.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how I do it. I really don't.
Anyway, so going back to.
Okay,
going
sorry.
to-
Back to
Matt.
passwords.
Reel it in.
Yeah.
Reel it in. Going back to this Grey Key device, I wanted to kind of ask you guys, what do you think about the, I don't know, morality behind this? Is morality the word I'm looking for? Because they're marketing it specifically to law enforcement.
Yeah.
And this is obviously a direct response to the domestic terrorism things and
Oh, and needing the back
and
door.
the shooting that's been going on, the shooting that went on a couple of years ago where
Yeah.
they needed to get into the device, and Apple was refusing to risk the privacy of their user, despite the fact that he's a criminal.
Well, for just this reason, once
Even
they
though,
do it for,
even though at the time he wasn't convicted as a criminal, and I think Apple hid behind the innocent until proven guilty thing. See, as a privacy advocate, I admire Apple for taking that stance.
yeah,
But at the same time, I know exactly why law enforcement wants to get into these phones to try to prevent any future things from happening. So I'm kind of struggling with this. I don't know. That's why I wanted to ask you guys. What do you think? We
let's-
have
let's-
Vic up at the
yeah.
mic.
So it turns out the FBI actually could have gotten into that phone, and they just were simply making that claim that they couldn't, to be able to set precedent that they could force companies to do this in the future.
Oh, that's shady.
Technically,
Yeah, so do you
That
still want
came
them
out
to
about
Whoa.
3 weeks
morality
ago.
boost
Yeah.
you?
It came out about 3 weeks ago.
That's Comey's FBI, by the way.
And yeah,
They
and so
technically though they're like
What?
not like they're able to do it technically via some sort of device. Or what I'm getting at is like
it's Discord users. Anybody who
What?
uses Discord, they can just get in.
great.
We're going to talk about that in a second.
we're all screwed.
Oh no!
We're
No,
gonna talk about it.
no, but that's what it was. They came out and said that they
It's
actually
Discord?
released that, and so basically they went in front of Congress and said, "We can't unlock this device. We need you to make laws that makes it so we can unlock this device." So they technically lied to Congress about their
Because
situation.
they could do it technically already.
Right. They could do it.
Because the San Bernardino one,
That's
they
what
could
we're
have easily
talking
just
about.
used him. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, how hard is it to lie to Congress when they're asking Zuckerberg, if WhatsApp is encrypted end to end, how am I getting banner ads? Remember? No?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
who came up with that question?
I don't know. I can't
That
remember.
was,
the
that was a
Congress-
pretty good question.
Yeah, it was very, very good question. It was a highly indicative of their smarts.
oh yeah.
Anyway, I'm getting off topic here.
Yeah, but I mean that's really what we're looking at. The moral there is the fact that the people who actually have jurisdiction over this, they're the ones that's having the moral problem with this. They're the ones that's saying we can't get into this and we need to create backdoors when they can get into it. It's already there. They just want a legal avenue for it.
Right.
That's what it is. They
Oh,
want-
that way it's clear on their conscience because the law's down on paper.
Fuck
No,
their
allow,
conscience.
when they go to court, they can say this is how we were legally able to do this,
Yeah.
and we don't have to declare how we did it. There's been about 140 prosecutions that the feds have walked away from because they didn't want to say how they gathered the information.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's what this is all about.
Oh, no, we're going to drop the case because we don't know anything.
You didn't see anything.
Yeah, exactly. It was the Israelis.
Yeah.
It was the Russians. It was everybody but us.
All right, so that's really shady. It's a lot shadier than I thought it was.
Yeah, this digs a little bit deeper,
yeah,
doesn't it?
Yeah. But I still want to know what you guys think.
So here's what I think is going to happen. Despite what Community Mike just said, I think what's going to happen is somebody takes this device, accidentally drops it somewhere on the black market, and
Oh yeah.
Oh, 100%.
They
Yeah.
drop it outside in the parking lot of the black market. Somebody plugs it in.
Right.
But the thing is, and this is not. We've seen several examples where law enforcement and lawmakers want it a certain way until they're directly affected, right? So like, oh, we want a backdoor to encryption. Well, if you have that, then you make online banking and pretty much everything else insecure. So what are you really asking
The
for?
funny thing is they're going to get a backdoor soon if quantum computing starts taking off.
Right. Well, we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
They said a little bit off topic, but they said at 23 at a machine that can run stable at 23 qubits, it can break current encryption methods. And I think IBM has a 20 qubit machine
Let's
available
go.
to the public.
Let's go back to Caesar ciphers.
But quantum computing can only break asymmetrical ciphers, not symmetrical.
Oh, I see.
Oh, cool. So pub key's still okay then?
No.
Oh no, sorry, that's asymmetrical.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah.
My fault.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my point being is, again, lawmakers
for
and
that.
law enforcement they want to set this precedent. They want to set this precedent. They want to have these laws in place until it's used against them, either legally or not legally. And then what? You know what I mean?
I think it's just lazy. It's just like, we don't want to have to actually go out and talk to people. We'd rather just get in their phones and look at all the things and, well, he was there at this time, so obviously he's the guy.
I mean, they always have tried to take the laziest way they could.
No,
They're
it's
like-
malice. It's not lazy. Don't excuse these guys. It's malice.
Oh, it's malice.
when you say malice, how do you mean? Like,
They mean it. They're not coming in there and go, well, what's the easiest way for us to do this? No, how can we get these guys? It's malice against
can we
your
get-
civil rights. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
That's what they have complete indifference to any. If they have complete indifference to people's civil rights. Is what I'm saying.
I will have
That's
to
malice.
agree with Community Mike, 100%. And I don't think.
I don't know if it's so.
They did public testimony on camera that they later said we lied about, and just said, eh.
The only part that I differ with is the degree. I don't think it's a malice. I think they just don't care.
I know.
Oh
that,
no, they care a lot.
I know
They
that
don't- they
deliberate
don't
lying
care
is
about-
an interrogation technique.
Say again.
Well,
Deliberate
were they
lying is an
interrogating Congress?
interrogation. Sorry, I'm talking about when they're trying to get info from a suspect.
Sure, yeah, they're allowed to lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, but but nobody's even talking about this. I mean,
Right.
nobody's ever going, "Hey, they did a thing." Nobody's even talking about it. That means they're all in on it.
You're saying Congress isn't saying, "Hey, those guys lied to us."
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Or nobody else is bringing this up.
Right.
Media isn't bringing it up.
Yeah.
If you were a reporter and you could have this turned around and actually make, actually attack you using this. Like if you were a reporter and the government was hostile towards you,
Oh yeah.
see, where does this go?
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about. No reporter's bringing this up because they figure they're not going to be the target.
Yeah.
Anybody that would be a target, well, they deserved it.
Well,
And it's got you quiet.
no, I'm just trying to like. Yeah. Go.
No, I understand.
It's just like I don't know. I don't see that it is. They want to. From the politician standpoint, I guess here's where I'm going with this. From a politician standpoint, they don't want to be the guy that says, "Oh, you can't look at people's phone records," and then something bad happens, right? Because then, oh well, you're the guy that allowed this bad thing to happen. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, but
You see what I'm saying?
at the same time, civil rights and civil
Yeah.
rights is not like just a thing that gets in the way whenever it becomes inconvenient.
Agreed.
You know,
No, I
it's something
totally
that
agree.
needs to stand there.
Yeah, I'm explaining. I'm explaining the emotions behind it. I'm definitely not condoning it because civil rights are definitely more important.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's funny because I agree with your agreement with BGM. It's funny because a lot of times when I'm explaining behavior, a lot of people think that I'm excusing it.
Yes.
Right. And I'm not saying that that's what he was doing or that's what you were doing, but it's just funny. That's what's funny to me. It's like
Okay.
when you're explaining methodology or when you're explaining.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I've confused the two before, and I
Right.
felt really bad afterwards. And the person's like, "Look, I'm just trying to explain."
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, "Oh, even the explanation went over my head. I don't know what to do anymore."
But and it's kind of sad. And I know this is kind of off topic, but it is kind of sad when like you're trying to have a conversation with somebody and like you're explaining behavior, and people are seeing it as excusing it.
Yeah.
Like 2 or 3 months ago. No, this was like right after DEF CON, right? We were talking about the elitist or the elitism that's going on in the hacker community. Like, oh well, I've been in the hacker community for 20 years.
Hackers are elitist.
Well, you know what I
That's
mean?
weird.
Do you remember that topic though? And it was like, oh, shove off, pleb. I learned it the hard way by RTMFing, and you should do the same thing, right? Or RTFMing, and you should do it the same way, right?
RTMF.
Read the motherfucker.
Hey, I'm not wrong.
I
I'm not
mean-
wrong. No, but read the motherfucker. Let's change it to that. I like that better.
RTMFM.
RTMFM. No, but my point is, even back then, when I said I'm not excusing this, I'm explaining
Yeah.
it. Like there was a little bit of a pushback. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
right.
So I just wanted to point that out. It's kind of interesting.
So when I was saying I don't think it's malice, I just don't think they care. That's kind of what I was meaning. Like from their perspective,
But-
they're not being malicious. They're not like, I'm going to take away everyone's rights. But they're like, no, I'm going to get a hold of this guy's information, and whatever law blah 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 you have, I don't care. I'm going to get this guy's information, catch the bad guy. Like in their own story, they're the hero. Again, not excusing it at all.
They are the anti-hero.
The anti-hero is what.
But in their story, in their own story, to themselves, they think that they're the hero. They're not. I don't think they are. I'm just saying, in their own story, they are. I don't know.
Any other comments on this? I think Zenify had a topic.
Do it.
Oh, are we going into that one?
I feel
mean,
like
any last
we've
comments?
talked about pretty much all that we can. I mean, from a privacy standpoint, I really don't agree with developing this kind of thing. It's privatized hacking that's marketed specifically for law enforcement, which
And it won't stay in the hands of law enforcement.
No, absolutely not.
No, it won't.
Yeah.
It won't.
But that's the funny part.
That's why I said it's marketed
Right?
towards them.
Yeah.
But I mean, anybody can pick this up and do whatever they
So-
want with it.
So the next question then is
That's the
what
chaos
comes
part.
next? And here it comes.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
Asking you shall receive, Satchel.
Did you see where Microsoft blamed the NSA for WannaCry? And said it was their fault for basically storing the stuff away and keeping them it hidden away, nobody could look at it.
Oh, they were not siphoning. I'm sorry, they were stockpiling
Yeah.
0 days, right?
0 days, yeah.
Yeah.
Microsoft came up there and accused NSA for causing WannaCry.
Did NSA have a retort?
They
They probably did. It's just
no, you're like, eh.
Well, when
What are
Microsoft
you
called
gonna do?
them, they were like, "No such agency," and then hung up.
Oh, I get it.
Going through a
NSA.
tunnel.
This whole building is big tunnel.
Oh, big tunnel.
You know, I've always wanted to take a bag of chips and actually make that sound, not just with my mouth, but like with an actual bag of chips. Anyway, sorry.
You
Tangent.
could do that.
One day,
It is possible.
you'll realize your dream.
Today I'm Master Tangential.
Don't let your dreams be.
Yeah, there we go. Zenify, you got a topic?
Kind of. I mean, we've talked about this in the past, but I think it got a little bit more traction, which was nice, which was using AI to get others to speak words that they didn't say, like on
Ooh.
TV. So recently,
Oh.
Jordan Peele, Key and Peele,
Yeah.
Jordan Peele, he directed that one really good movie.
Get Out?
Yeah, Get Out.
See, I saw that movie too, y'all.
Ah,
He used,
No, I
Yeah.
saw it. I saw it.
well, he used
After the
AI.
third time.
Yeah.
He used AI to make Obama deliver a PSA that Obama never made.
Wow.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
so I just kind of wanted to bring that up, and if you guys had any takes on,
Yeah.
we've kind of talked about in the past how it, the whole fake news thing is kind of prevalent, and we're getting into a future where we can't really trust the media. But I was kind of interested to see this one now using an A-list celebrity, now director, kind of doing that. Might bring more to the front lines as a voice.
so, and here's another one where I'm about to get stormed here in just a second. I'm pretty sure, but the thing is, like, as far as is someone going to post up a website of someone saying something that they didn't say? Yes, they're totally going to do that. Well, I mean, they already have with the whole deepfakes stuff, right? But a news agency usually doesn't fall for that nearly enough to make it a, like, oh my God, we can't trust the media anymore. And my concern is that there won't be an objective media around because we've effectively neutered it by saying, oh, it's all these things are fake news, blah blah blah. Is there propaganda all the freaking time? Like, as a progressive during the last campaign, when we've got people on the news talking about people throwing chairs that didn't throw chairs, yeah, there's propaganda out there for sure.
Uh-huh.
But straight up not having any sort of truth to it is a lot rarer.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like this level of, like in the article where Obama just completely did not even close to say the things that he says in that. I don't see that
Happening as often?
happening.
Or happening ever?
What was it on Reddit? I forgot. It was a big thing where like they were putting celebrities' faces on porn.
Deepfake. Yeah. that's what I was
Deepfake.
talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that shit is crazy.
Yeah.
Research purposes, but man.
Research
man.
purposes.
Well, I mean, like
You
you could-
research the
okay.
shit out of them.
Obviously, you could tell that it was fake, but that's because of its rudimentary beginnings as a
Yeah.
technology,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But man,
It's pretty close.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. As far as the future goes, shit, this is gonna be interesting times.
I mean, now we're kind of entering the who watches the watchers kind of
Yeah.
thing here. I mean, if you can't trust anything, then what media do you go to at that
Yeah.
point? Do we all just go back to newspapers and hope that the newspapers are legitimate? I mean,
Most of those are owned by
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you got to pick who you're going to trust, and it's going to be hard. It's going to be really hard. I don't like full right media as much as I don't like full left media either. I like to get a healthy dose of both sides, so I can form a point, so I can form an opinion on things. But if everything is divisive, and I don't know, it's tough.
Yeah.
Especially if I don't know the videos are real.
Do we all get our fair share of both sides of the media?
Is it going to get to a point where we'll get audio and video evidence that won't be acceptable in court?
Oh, I think we're almost there. I mean, with this deepfake stuff, yeah. I mean, can you put reasonable doubt into a jury? Yeah. Especially if the guy accusing you is any good with computers or does video editing of any kind, they can play this video and be like, "Can we trust this video evidence?
Mm-hmm.
Who are you going to believe, me or your lying eyes?"
Lion eyes. Sorry. Every time I hear lion, I'm thinking.
I wonder if you could do like waveform analysis on the AI version and see see where the real Obama and the AI differ. Because there has to be a difference. It
Like
can't
voice
be a
prints.
perfect match. Yeah.
Yeah, the way that he says a word versus the way that Jordan says a word.
Yeah, because I mean, Obama's going to breathe on
Yeah.
his words, where an AI doesn't have to take a breath or exhale on certain things.
What
So it's going
movie-
to change the waveform.
What movie was it where the phrase was "My voice is my passport"? Does we remember that? Was that Sneakers? That wasn't Sneakers, right? Is it
might have
Sneakers?
been.
Yeah, my voice
Yeah.
is my passport or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
We have community
So,
link.
so it wasn't an AI doing the audio. I think he was doing the
He was just doing
He was doing the impersonation.
Yeah,
Right. Okay.
right.
And the AI was basically doing the facial
Yep.
Okay.
for it. But modern voice is almost indistinguishable. The AI voice that they can do that's out there is almost indistinguishable.
Well, to our ears, but can you do waveform analysis? Is it exactly the same
It's
waveprint?
really, really spooky close.
Hmm.
And I'd like to see Obama actually do that, like come out and do that performance, just to have the comparison.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm kind of having this daydream of him actually doing that speech.
Yeah. Let's start a petition.
Petition.org. President Obama, can you say all this shit? All right. Does anybody have any more topics?
It's important.
Look, I am not a voiceover guy. You want a guy to do your voieovers? I'm not the guy.
See, I want to work on my impression.
That's better than Jen's Trump impression.
I'm not even do it.
He does an impression of Stephen Colbert doing an impression of
Yeah,
Trump.
he
Yeah,
does.
yeah, that's
That's-
true.
that's-
No, I
yeah.
do. I'll give you that one. But I like Stephen Colbert's impression.
He's great.
I like the impression of the impression.
It's good.
Wait, who does it on Saturday Night Live?
Alec Baldwin.
Alec Baldwin.
Alec
That's
Baldwin,
right.
yeah.
I've never heard his impression.
Oh, he's like spot on.
Really? Is it a good one?
Yeah.
Damn shit. No. Anyway, any other topics?
I don't have any.
Okay.
Deadpool 2 is coming out. Oh no, but back on the Mac thing actually. So what do you think the next step is? Do you think it's going to be a cat and mouse sort of thing with Apple like, oh no, we've got even better security now, and the FBI being like, no, we need that security.
If Apple does that, it's just to stick it to law enforcement at that point. It's not for the consumer. It's Apple.
I think
It's
that-
Apple going, oh yeah, well here's my one up. They just don't want to be taken advantage of.
But I think part of it would be to keep their customer base, right? Like if they
Yeah.
can prove that they are more secure than let's say
I
Android.
honestly legitimately believe that was their initial intention with these things, but at this point, if they keep doing this, it'll go into a point of pride for Apple. Instead of protecting the consumer, they'll be protecting their image.
So you think that Apple should eventually stop and be like, okay,
No,
nah,
I
never
don't
mind.
think they should stop.
Oh,
They
okay.
should. I just think there's no altruism here in with Apple's motives. It would be to protect their image instead
I
of the
agree.
consumer.
That reminds me of the one Kaiser Chiefs song. Is it Kaiser Chiefs? Love's not a competition, but I'm winning.
Good diversion, Chen.
Well, no, because
Community
it was
mic?
altruism. That was anyway.
I think right now, say if someone grabs a hold of that, right, and they proliferate that to, say, more criminals, then Apple will probably be more apt to want to do something about it, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
But for now, it's like, all right, well,
Yeah.
you got your way, your super secret box,
Yeah.
And I bet you they have an idea of what's going on. Who knows? Maybe they'll magically fix it in a firmware update.
Yeah,
And they just-
because
you won't know.
like you brought up before, you need a second device for whatever reason.
It's
And
probably
Apple
because
might
you're
be able
brute
to
forcing
figure it
that
out.
device. So
Yeah.
if you can somehow copy contents or the secure element over, and then you disable all those different mechanisms like the exponential backoff timer, then all you got to do is just brute force the shit out of that other iPhone that you've pretty much gimped. Right? So
Do we have another
Yeah.
community mic?
They'll probably
Cool.
work on that.
So one thing also is the fact that they don't just want this for future cell phones. All law enforcement has a stockpile of cell phones that they just can't get into.
Yeah.
Cases
right,
that are
right.
still within their whatever it's essentially they can still pursue whatever
Just
charges.
open cases.
Exactly. Ones that haven't been turned
Statute
cold
of
yet.
limitations.
Thank you. Yeah,
Yes.
stuff that's still within the statute of limitations. The only thing protecting them is that one phone that, I mean, most of them at this point probably they dwindled down just due to the fact that updates and firmware and stuff. I mean, not only with the Gray Key, but also Celebrite, they've been making their device that slowly has been doing it. In fact, that's the whole Gray Key thing was they were like, oh, we can one up you Celebrite. We can still get an even later version of the iOS with our device. So that's the other thing is there's all these devices that they already have. They're not probably getting firmware updates. They've been disconnected from any network. They're just waiting for the device to be able to do it.
Well, I'm not a lawyer, but is there legality for them to get into these people's devices? Do they need a court order? Because it feels like the same thing if they were going through somebody's house or somebody's trunk. They would need some sort of legal directive to
Well,
get
but,
into their phone.
Like I think over 99.1% of all FISA court warrants are rubber stamped. So I
Oh,
mean,
yeah?
Oh yeah, and FISA court is like a secret court, really. It's like, yeah.
Plus, I mean, when it comes down to it, they can always be like, oh, that was misfiled. Here's the warrant.
Oh yeah.
It's a little tattered, but we had it.
It looks like an eraser mark there where it says what you're getting into, and it might have said something else, but that's just just water.
That was
Don't worry about
Susie,
Yeah.
the
Accounting.
receptionist. She just spelled something.
Yeah,
wrong.
don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. And yeah, that Kaiser Chiefs song does have the word altruistic in it.
See, I knew it was there somewhere. Anyway, I'll shut up now. Actually, no, I won't because it's
No, you
about
won't.
time for the lightning round.
Oh.
Are you guys ready for the lightning
Let's
round?
do the lightning
Let's
round.
do the lightning round.
All right, who wants to go first? Satchel.
Satchel.
Okay. I never go first, but you'll see why.
I know because I know you want to think of a hashtag.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, I think I'm gonna start getting on Twitter.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
I never thought he'd be getting on Twitter.
It's a wretched hive of scum and villainy.
I know, I love
That's
it. though.
why.
Oh.
What?
That's exactly why.
All right.
It's also why I love dive bars. Okay, we can go.
Well, in a second, I want to get into this. Like,
What?
why?
Dive bar?
Why really do you want to get into Twitter?
I realized that, like, I don't know. I don't
There's
know.
an avenue.
Yeah,
Is it?
For
Oh, is it
creative
because they increased their
expressions.
character limit?
kinda.
What? Really?
Yeah.
I'm just guessing. Man, I'm over.
I think I
I'm one
still
for-
link your
One
Twitter
for
on
one.
the descriptions of our Greynoise videos.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, guys. Let's see. So, Satchel, you'll go first. Hopefully, you can think of a hashtag off the top of your head.
Off the top of my head.
For those of you who do not know what the lightning round is, we are going to read the headlines from zdnet.com/topic/security. We will give our tweet's length, which is now about 280 characters, of an opinion. We want to tell you where to look and whatever, but not exactly how to think. So come up with your own opinion. We're just going to give you ours. All right, here we go. First,
I suggest we skip the first three. I don't know what's going on
Yeah, +1 on that one.
yeah, okay, that's cool.
with that, but they all seem to be.
Starting to read like
Yeah.
a computer wrote it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to start with the Windows 10 thing then.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Wait a minute, you're cheating.
I know.
God damn it. You should be doing that then, I guess, if you wanted a hashtag.
I try to win any way I can, man.
Mm-hmm. All right, here we go. So now we're fourth down, sorry. All right, here we go. Windows 10, Microsoft to boost Linux app security with Windows Defender Firewall.
What?
That's like putting out a house fire with more fire, isn't
Well,
it?
no, I think the
Well, fire is nature's water.
Well, the thing is,
well,
Microsoft wrote a Linux kernel, or has their own Linux kernel, and I think that's what this is talking about, an integration with the Windows Defender.
Hey, Linux guys, just let Microsoft handle your security. It's fine. It's fine.
No, guys, your opinions?
It's probably not going to work out as well as I think.
Hashtag pay a horse to watch your dog.
Pay a horse.
That's a much cleaner way of saying that. Yeah.
Like, what's wrong with IP tables? Anyway, next. All right, here we go. Ransomware, stolen data, or malware. How do online crooks really make their money?
I make it by you giving it to me.
1 Bitcoin at a time.
1 Bitcoin at a time.
Zenify.
Yeah, I mean, right.
Dude, I don't think anybody can hear you while you're stroking your beard.
I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's stolen data. What about? I mean,
Well, so they're probably selling PII or whatever.
yeah, that's all it could be. Or, I mean, most ransomware targets medical records, and well, I mean, not most, but from what I see a lot, it's medical institutions.
I think most ransomware targets the people. I think a lot of ransomware is really just a social engineering thing because a lot of their money, in my opinion, comes from, and not just my opinion. Sorry,
High
opinion's the wrong
priority
word.
data.
From my reading of from ransomware, it comes from the same thing that all those people paid for in that Ha Ha Lung book. If you just send out something to scare people and say that you have something, a lot of people are going to pay you to
Yeah,
go
'cause-
away instead of pay to
'cause,
protect
yeah.
against what you
Mm-hmm.
perceive they have.
They have a secret that they think might be damning. Yep.
Yeah, so if you send out a bug to a hospital that pops up a scary screen with a timer and says, when this hits 0, all your stuff's gone away unless you pay this money.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of times people will pay it without verifying that it actually will do something.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it does do something, I mean.
Yeah. Whether it does something or not, like just the threat alone.
So that wasn't really an article. That was,
Was that an advertisement?
well, anything that ends, any kind of article
with
that
a
ends
question,
with a
right?
question mark, is
Yeah, it's
you
stupid.
can always answer with no.
All right, cool. All right, next one.
How do online crooks really make their money?
No,
No.
they don't.
They don't. Actually, that's kind of how we answered it, no?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, anyway.
Well, I think they make their money by fear mongering.
Mongering. I like that word. Monger. All right. Next one.
Monger.
Google's Project Zero exposes unpatched Windows 10 lockdown bypass. That's a lot of words.
There's a bug in Windows. I'm shocked.
Google found it.
I mean, that's what. So Google inadvertently found a bug.
I wonder how they searched for it.
Well,
I just got that.
as long as Windows is protecting my Linux apps, it's okay.
Yeah, no problem there. That's good.
Oh my god. All right, here we go. Next one. Comparison chart. VPNs.
No, we don't want that.
No, we don't want that. Okay. Well, is that why you're cheating?
Yeah.
Because all right, fine. Next one. Oracle Critical Update fixes 254 flaws, so get patching now.
I'm just picturing like some IT guy going like, "Oh, 254? Oh man, that's really important.
That
I should do
actually
that
that
one."
actually probably happened today. It's 420.
I can imagine. Yeah.
250. That's a lot, man. That's like more than 250.
I'm like, whoa, chill out, 0 day. Can you be a 1 day?
Yeah, man. Or like 4 days so we can do it on Monday.
Yeah, man.
Sorry. I don't even smoke it.
You guys are like in sync or something.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Similar.
that was a weird trip. Haha, trip. All right, here we go. Next one. ZTE lashes out on at U.S. ban, vows to protect company.
Well, if they protect the company the same way they protect our data, they're in trouble.
I never had a ZTE phone.
Well, that's good because then that means the government of China doesn't have all your data from your phone.
But I've had a Huawei.
Oh, then they do.
They already have that.
I told you they don't speak English. It's okay.
We're not going in order anymore.
I know. Sorry.
Yeah,
But no, I mean, yeah, it's why would they protect or why would they not? I mean, vows protect. Of course, they're going to protect their company.
Yeah.
But we're not in a trade war, guys. We're not in a trade war.
No, everything's fine.
No, it's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's more of a trade
A
disagreement.
trade kerfuffle.
And they're easy to win.
It's complicated.
If
No,
we
no,
were
no,
in
on
one.
Facebook.
If we were in one.
Yeah.
All right, let's
Wrap it up.
let's make this the last one. All right, and only because I wanted to say this name here, because I think there could be a lot of puns. Victoria wants data misuse provisions included in face matching system.
That is a weird title.
What?
You know, things are going kind of weird when Australia is the voice of reason.
Oh, I thought it was just a girl named Victoria.
No, Victoria,
No, that's
Australia. They want
Oh.
privacy hashed out in a bill before it's passed.
I was gonna say,
Ah.
man, Victoria's a
Yeah.
smart girl.
Yeah, so it's weird when Australia is the voice of reason.
The voice of reason, right? Exactly. I couldn't have said it better than that. Yeah.
I thought it was just a single girl who wanted.
really.
Yeah.
That's all he cared about. He just saw the name.
Joe,
And the-
Joe is tired of data being used wrongly.
Let's ask Joe. Joe, what do you think about data being used wrongly? I don't like it. All right, thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Joe. Yeah. I think it sucks. Bullshit.
Oh, you guys are right there.
We are.
All right. Well, that brings us to the end of the lightning round, which I think brings us. Yeah, it does. It does. It does bring us to the end of the show.
Sure.
Yeah, we've run out of time, but not out of shit to say. So join us again next week, 7:30 on Fridays, as always, here at the Sin Shop.
Jen won't be there.
Oh yes, I do apologize. I will not be here next week. So you guys got the reins. Actually,
Wow.
BGM, are you hosting?
I think so, yes.
All right, cool. Have fun. Good luck. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Do everything I wouldn't do. Do it all. All
I'm
right.
going to do one of those things.
I will do the other one.
And just remember
Okay.
to RTMF.
Wait, where's
Um,
Doxy?
He's going to be here next week.
That was the other joke.
Oh, yeah. Where is he? I forgot.
I don't know.
Fuck it. We fucked it up. Anyway,
Well, we didn't fuck it up.
join these guys again next week at the Sin Shop, 1075 American Pacific Drive, Sweet Sea in Henderson, Nevada. Still the Las Vegas Valley Hackerspace. You'll know you can find us here. Go to sinshop.org for information on that. Go to meetup.com/sinshop to remember about the Science of Is Everywhere events.
To
Oh,
remember
boy.
about the science of
Oh,
the
boy.
event.
I'm going to just screw this up.
Never forget.
I'm going to continue going down this
So don't
train.
worry, folks. I'll be hosting next week.
Yeah, you'll have a break from me, all right? So all right, go to Greynoise for information on us. That's GREYNOI.SE. And I believe, yeah. You know, I still want a song like that, by the way. My name is Master Chen.
My name is BGM.
Was that a fly?
And I'm Richard Satchel.
Good night, everybody.